What's the word, y'all? I'm Vante, and if you were anything like me when I started producing, you probably trying to figure out how to create your own samples. Now, not sampled music, but original instruments. So if you want to make beats with original audio, kind of like what you're hearing now, don't even worry about it. I got you. The first step is to get and record your sounds. This, you can either record it through your phone or directly through the mic. This is where you can be the most creative. This is where you can be the most spontaneous. This is where you can be the most ridiculous and extreme. Like, it doesn't matter. If you want to record somebody balling up a piece of paper, if you want to record the squeak of your shoes on the gym floor when you cross somebody up. I know some of y'all was some bad kids. Y'all ain't gonna lie to me, tell me y'all wasn't. You all know before y'all got that whooping, when your parent used to do the little intimidation factor, you can record that if you want to and make something out of it. Literally, the sky is the limit. But for the purpose of this video, what we're gonna use is something that everybody should have at the least. That's what? A phone. What else? Something that people are gonna have around the house. A fork. Let's go with that. So we're gonna make something from a phone and a fork. I'm gonna show you guys how to actually create the kick. And from there, everything else will be fast forward or time lapse for the interest of time. The first thing that we're actually gonna record is gonna be the iPhone/kick. So pretty much things to look out for when we're going into this is the differences in sound that the little subtle things you change can make. Loosely squeezing it, tightly. So you can get any type of sound you want, just depends on what sound you're looking for. So let's get some recordings in and see what we can get sound wise. So let's go ahead and listen to what we got. See which take we like the best. And we got 5 just so that way we have options. So overall what we're looking for is the one that we can don't have to use too much editing force to try and get it to sound right. And then it really depends on the type of kick, because you could be going for a drum set kick, you could be going for a trap kick. I like how deep either this second or the third one is. My only concerns with it is that peaking sound, but these are things that we can probably fix in editing. I think I like that first one. It gives me a nice deep kick. Step 2. Here's where we actually cut it down directly. But it's pretty much the same process, just looking out for the different qualities of whatever instrument you want and just trying to get those qualities from different effects. You can literally pick any type of plugin and see if it matches up with the type of sound you're actually going for. Here we're going to pick the scissor tool, go ahead and cut there, and then you want to get the full sound. So once you get your take, you're just going to cut the ends and drag it to the beginning. Bam, now you lined up. Put a little fade effect, so that way it's not just extremely blunt when it comes in. Put a fade over the end. We're already starting to feel a little bit more natural. Just the difference that versus with no fade tool. You hear the harsh cuts. So look, there we go. And if you want, you can follow along. The first thing we did was actually get our good take. We cut our take, put that little section right in the beginning, and we added the fades on the beginning and the end to give it more of a natural type of start and end. It doesn't feel so abrupt. We're gonna go ahead and play this on repeat. That way we can get our gain level right. When you're actually making a beat and you're getting the levels right, it's called gain staging. That way you can get the best quality mix that you can possibly try and get. Here we see when those lines are in the yellow, that actually means that it's clipping. Now once again, these plugins that I'm using are all in Logic. They're all stock, so you don't have to pay for anything to use these. You can just go hop right in Logic and follow along if you like. But yeah, so you just go up on the side, click in here, and then you're going to slide down to utility, and then you're going to click gain. Then you're going to go up to metering and go to level meter. For the kick, it can be mono, that's fine. Normally when I make beats, I try and aim for about -18 because of the audio quality of the recordings we got and it not being as loud. We're gonna have to fight with that to make sure that it's not clipping anywhere, but making sure we're getting volume at the same time. Let's go ahead and change the pitch. I'm actually gonna go to audio units, Apple. I'm gonna go to AU pitch for this first one. And then we'll go ahead and change the pitch, lower it. You don't want to lower it too low, because what you'll end up with is something like this. Hey man, don't be afraid to mess around with these plugins and, you know, take it to the extreme. See if you can actually hear what's going on, what's actually being changed. Now, also another thing I recommend for all my musicians and producers, studio quality headphones. Oral skills is at the top of the list of important things that you need when producing or making music in general. I'm gonna toss an EQ on here. As you can see, the levels jumping. You can see what it's actually doing. I'll take a little bit of that mud out. And this is normally stuff you do when you finish the beat. But for the purpose of making the kick sound like how I want it to sound, these are things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boost the low end here as well. That way we cut out a little bit of the very low end, but on here we boost some of that meat where the kick is actually kicking. So I'm getting a nice deep kick sound right here. Before, after. If you're watching this, I would recommend using headphones. That way you can actually exactly hear the subtle differences. If you want, you can do a high pass cut. Like I said, depends on the type of kick you're going for. I could go for about this much of the highs taken out. Put the levels to this to the extreme and drag it across. You're listening for those frequencies that the ear doesn't like, and you're cutting those frequencies out. That 2 to 3K range, it does cut a little bit of it out. Not bad. One of the things that's going to help us get our volume back is going to be the compressor. If you want me to, I can explain the compressor in a different video, but for the interest of time, I'm not going to go too deep into detail. If you want to follow along, kind of set it to the settings I'm setting mine at, but depends on how you recorded your kick. If I'm going purely off of the sound, I like how the 1 to 4 sounds. It sounds a little warmer, in my opinion. Fast attack and a slower release. Soft knee. Yeah, I think that's about where I want my kick to sit. And just a couple plugins. We got the pitch, we got the EQ, and we got the compressor. And just like that, we go from this to this. If you want, you can go ahead and toss a reverb on there. Reverb can give you that almost drum kit type of feel. This is a gem I learned. I still use this and apply this to whenever I'm listening to my mix. Here at 15, you clearly hear it. And you think, that's what I want the reverb, I want to hear it. That's not what you want. When you got other things going and play, other sounds are mixed in, you want it to be so subtle that you don't notice that it's there until you take it out. So I'll probably put my 6 or 7 where you barely hear it, but when you take it out, you notice. There we have our own kick sound. Now, for step 3, the benefit of using the multi-sampler is that I'll be able to change the different pitches of whatever it is I recorded. We're gonna just open up a new channel, software instrument this time. We can go ahead and change the instrument here. And for those that used to have Logic Pro before, we already know about the SX24 sampler, and the new sampler has completely made it a lot more easier. It'll be down here. It's in my recent for me, but slide down here into the sampler, multi-sample. They have the single sample and the multi-sampler. The multi-sampler allows you to add multiple instruments together to create a sound if you want it. It's literally just drag and drop. You're gonna take this little recording here, drag it over here, and put it in zone per note. Once it's in zone per note, bam, everything's done for you. You don't have to go to the group and all of that stuff you used to have to do. Now you have the option to put this at any level you want. You want a high pitch, you want it low, you can do that. You can just drag that back to how we had it. You have all of these options here, and you can turn them off and turn them on from this little lever right here. Here you have the option to fine tune the pitch, and this is how fine it is. You have steps and all of that stuff. Filters here, velocity, the mode, transpose. There's all the options. You can even make it to where the notes glide together here. Pitch blend. There's a ton of options. There's another section that you can edit all your sounds on. The mod wheel here, modulators here. This is where you can change all your different levels, like your attack, sustain, velocity. All of these things you can change in here as well. Mapping is just where you actually got your keys set out. You got the zone. So these are all the different options within the multi-sampler for you to mess around with. Here's where we're going to do the actual time lapse. All right, so we started with the clap with the phone / hi-hat. You see we got our takes. Listen to the best one. Took the best one and we cut the ends of it right here. After that, we added our fade right to the ends. Made it a little bit more natural. Here we're changing the levels, getting our levels right, changing the pitch, which we upped it a little bit with it being a clap. Open up the EQ, adjust your EQ to taste. Go ahead and listen. From there, we added our reverb. And on this next part, I actually brought the de-esser up back for the kick because it gives it more of a rounder, deeper sound if you edit it right. And back to the multi-sampler and repeat. If you made it to this point in the video, I want you to go ahead and put in the comment section what's the craziest thing you plan on sampling. Don't be shy either, go ahead and comment. Also, I got a new series I'm working on. It's gonna be called The Music Box, literally based on everything we just did today, basically sampling random sounds around the house, random household items, and making hopefully a fire beat with it. So stay tuned for that. Once again, thank y'all for watching. Peace.